everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Confidence is never a question when it comes to wide receivers, and these two are no different. It's Landry's Dolphins going up against Smith's Ravens. With that, let's get you up to M&T Bank Stadium. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are coming to you from the heart of Baltimore, nestled between Russell Street and I-395. We're at M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight, we've got an AFC matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. And we say hi again, everybody. Brandon Gaudin here as we count down to kickoff. I turn to my partner, that's Charles Davis. And Charles, Larry pointed out in the open, we've got a pretty good matchup of wide receivers here this afternoon, don't we?
And those guys have such a big impact on the game nowadays. We know it's a throwing game, but the guys who can go up and get it, the guys who can break tackles after the catch and make bigger plays, oh yeah, they love spotlight as well. They want the football, they want the attention.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Here comes Grant on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And there is Ryan Tannehill bringing out the Miami Dolphins, finishing the season just shy of 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 12 picks, Charles. Unable to play, of course, in the playoff game. Had to be hard for him to sit that one out.
Had to be very hard for him because I thought he finished the season with a flourish. And this was a monster year for Ryan Tannehill in his development as an NFL quarterback. And I thought he passed the test. And I think 2017, he's eager for it, as is his head coach, Adam Gase.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end a season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just one 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow. I think the future's really bright for Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins next season.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. Incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's third down. Okay, the starters for the Miami Dolphins offensively. Charles, who are we highlighting?
Got to highlight Jay Ajayi, their running back. Came out of Boise State as a fifth-round pick, but most people had his talent much more like a second round. There were some medical concerns with the knee, but he can do it all. Run, catch, block. He's truly a three-down back.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Throwing on third down, Tannehill is going to go for a big play downfield. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time, and it's fourth down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes Baltimore's offense. The Ravens finishing the year, Charles, at 8-8. Flacco under center. Finished the year with over 4,300 passing yards. He actually topped Vinny Testaverde for the Ravens' single-season franchise record.
For so many people who wondered, can Joe Flacco actually carry a team? Well, I think it's been answered. He can actually do that, but do they want him to do it? Because the way the Ravens play, their style, predicated on having a really strong running game. They didn't quite get there this year. They had a couple of guys who ran okay, but they needed better performances there to take some of the pressure off of him so then he could bomb it deep to people.
Now a carry here for Terrence West. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In this offense, they look towards Steve Smith a lot.
It's a good idea because if you don't, you're going to hear about it. No one plays the wide receiver position angrier or better than Steve Smith Sr.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And Aiken with it over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And a look at the starters for the Miami defense.
The competition to go to the Pro Bowl at safety is fierce in the NFL. But Rashad Jones makes his case year in and year out as one who should go.
Third down and 5. Third down, Flacco from the gun. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
On first down, Flacco. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it with West. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. On the ground, it's West again. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. The ground game, no doubt, that was an issue for Baltimore this year, finishing 28th. Now, West, he was their leader, but only 774 yards.
Can you believe you just said that? The ground game was an issue for Baltimore? Yeah. Because that's what they're based on. I mean, that's who they are offensively. Being able to run the football, set that tone, set that physicality, and then throw the ball off of it. That wasn't Ravens football in 2016. I can't wait to see what they do next season. And will Terrence West be their lead running back?
Here's Justin Tucker now for the Raven field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. and this one winds up no good.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over, I guess.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
380.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Timmy Jernigan, play him over the nose, play him a defensive tackle, bounce him out to defensive end. Wherever you want to put him, Timmy Jernigan can play.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Second down, here's Tannehill. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. We're back to Baltimore after this. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. From the 50, it's Tannehill. And it's caught by Parker. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Tannehill now, they give to Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Now it's Tannehill. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he gets it down to the 32.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They come up in an offset eye. They run again with a J. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Damian Williams, the man he was looking for. And 4th down coming up. Here's Matt Darr now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And Steve Smith still making catches on Madden, but his career is over, finishing it with over 1,000 grabs, over 14,000 yards, and 81 touchdowns.
And no one went out better, as far as I'm concerned, than Steve Smith. Did you see his letter to the commissioner?
Tell me about it.
Where he said that I will no longer be around to antagonize defensive backs.
And he did just that.
Agent 89 out.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that'll be good for Baltimore first. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Caught, Dennis Pitta. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Flacco from midfield. He's got time in the pocket. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Steve Smith that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call tippy toes if that one was completed.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Incomplete on 1st down. Now Flacco on 2nd. Over the middle to Smith. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Throwing here on first down, Flacco, and that is incomplete. Second and 10. Flacco once more. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen in the end of halves.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. On first and 10, Tannehill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So second and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he checks this one down to Williams. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So now on fourth down, on trots the Dolphins field goal unit and Andrew Franks. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And that hits the crossbar and comes back, and it's no good. And by just a whisker, this remains a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Everyone's got 4 down. Set, move, 45.
On first down, Flacco, and hauled in by Pitta. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
4 down. Set, move, 45. Move, 45.
On second down, Flacco to throw. Smith catches left side. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. Going to throw right side here, complete. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Third down from the 25. Flacco's on target here, and he'll end up picking up 18 yards on the play. Ravens now later on the drive. Akins by himself here, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 15. Third down from inside the 50. Parker's got the catch here on the quick pass, and he'll make it out to the 34-yard line. Now 1st and 10. Flacco's got the completion here, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 15. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. No points in this one yet, but we'll hand it back over to a man who's always on point. That's Brandon Gott.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Moore now on the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. They start on the ground with West. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They fake the handoff. Now Flacco to pass. Wide open receiver complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to spring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on first down. Backing up. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. 3rd and long for Joe Flacco. He's got time. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Taking it about the 16. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They go play action here on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They run with Ajayi. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Tannehill, and he finds Stills, complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Tannehill on first down. It's caught. Stills right side. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Landry. That throw good for 4. It's second down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. To the air again, Tannehill. On the left side, this is Stills. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Throwing again is Tannehill. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Deion Sims, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And now the Ravens get it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams crew, when they run out there, they still feel it. And maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there. Blocked the extra point and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. They begin here with a run by West. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run again here with West. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Surveying the field. And this is going to be incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
When it's well executed, a wide receiver screen can often be a thing of beauty, but so many things have to go right in order to complete it. Blocking out in front, timing of the quarterback with the receiver, and oftentimes everything gets set, and guess what? They drop the football.
Back to the air, Tannehill on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now Campanaro. Oh, a little 360. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
I got a left. I got a left. 3-3. Take, move, 45.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Flacco here on 2nd down. He hits West underneath. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And just like that, it's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with, because now when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there if you like zone defense.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Oh, he shifts past him. He won't go down. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And out come the Dolphins now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Play fake to Ajayi. It's Tannehill. This one caught. Jordan Cameron. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, That'll drive a team towards a victory.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. This is Ajayi. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll come out in the pistol. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Third down now following the run. Now Tannehill. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Frank's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Now it's Franks following the made field goal to send it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Down the numbers. There he goes. The 20. And he's taken it all the way back for the return touchdown. And this game just got a little crazier. They're still alive here in the final stages.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. From the goal line all the way to the other goal line on that one. A full 100-yard return on the kickoff. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
Here's Ajayi. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Second down following the run. Tannehill going to throw it. It's caught. Cameron left side. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football, because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zones, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself.
Oh no, he lost the football, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. Finding time. To the right side to Aiken. Muscles him off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now he'll spike it here with 20 seconds to go on the clock. Back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. Still back there. Now a desperation. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And tough starting field position here. Now it's Ajayi. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I certainly
loved
did.
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, good night, everybody.